Robbie here, AFTV. This is the team I want to see start against Bayern Munich here at the Allianz Arena in the Champions League game. In goal, David Raya. Right back, Ben White. Centre backs, of course, Gabriel and Saliba. And on the left-hand side, left back, it's got to be Takehiro Tomiyasu for me. In the midfield, Jorginho and Declan Rice and Martin Odegaard. And up front, my up front three is down the middle, Kai Havertz. On the left-hand side, Gabriel Martinelli. And on the right-hand side, Bukayo Saka.
I'm Lee Judges, and this is my 11 for the game against Bayern Munich. In goal, Raya. Right back, Ben White. Two central defenders, Gabriel and Saliba. Left back, Tomiyasu. In the midfield, Jorginho, Declan Rice, Martin Odegaard, our skipper. Up front, Saka, Martinelli and Kai Havertz.
This is Julian, and this is the team that I want to see. Raya in goal. Right back, Ben White. Centre halves, Gabriel and Saliba. Left back, Zinchenko. In midfield, Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard. Up front, Martinelli, Havertz, Saka.
Alright lads, you're giving your 11s. Robbie and Lee went the same. Julian went a little bit different. I want to mention as well that Martin Odegaard did train today as well, so he seems like he'll be available for the match. That's good news as an Arsenal fan.
Good news.
Very good news.
Very good news.
Well, he wasn't in the pictures on the website, training pictures.
Well, he's been confirmed training this morning, so he will be there on Wednesday night, I'm sure. Right, I want to come straight to Robbie. Got on Ben White in the last fixture against Aston Villa, but you put him in your 11 to start against Bayern.
Of course, he's been brilliant all season. He had a bad game. And just because he had a bad game doesn't mean he's a bad player. He's a brilliant player. Yeah. He's been having a brilliant season. He had a bad game. Come out and just, rectify that. I believe in him fully. And he's going to be very important in this game. And I think he played all right last week. He was the better of the two
fullbacks.
Sort of fullbacks. And this is a game where he's going to be up against some very tricky wide players. We know they might have a couple of injuries, but they're going to be up against some tricky players. So yeah, I'm confident Ben White will do a job.
Okay, so you go on Ben White. Julian went different with Zinchenko playing left back. You boys have gone with Tomiyasu, but Kivior, I know what we saw in the home fixture, but Leroy Sané may not even be available. So wouldn't it be right, considering Kivior's played majority of since the bye, he's been the main left back, but you've gone with Tomiyasu?
I think he's done well, but that's what he is there. He's done a job for us. Got a proper fullback in Tomiyasu. I think at the end of this game we've still got to defend very, very well. And I think that he's the best defender out of the two in that position. And that's why I've gone for that.
Definitely for me, that was a problem position in the game. We were getting destroyed down that side, and Kivior got destroyed in that game. Remember, he got hooked at half-time. Yep. So no chance for me that he should be starting this game. He's not a bad player. He's a centre-back, remember, by trade, who was filling in. And also, I don't know, Zinchenko, second half of that game against Villa, he was getting the run around as well. For me, Tomiyasu.
He's a right back, Tomiyasu, though.
He is, but he can play on the left as well, and he brings solidity. He's a proper defender, and in a game where we're going to have to be defending, I feel, for a lot of it, and defending well, this is a game for Tomiyasu, 100%.
Julian, let's talk about Zinchenko then, because you've gone with Zinchenko in your 11. He's been getting, I think, awfully been criticised. I know, listen, people can have their opinions. We spoke about it in the preview, but I think a few people gone a bit too far with Zinchenko, but you put him back in the 11, even though his performance against Villa wasn't great. Why is that?
I have, for the positives of what he brings from an attacking sense. And also I think Martinelli plays better with him in the team, just the structure of how Martinelli plays the game. I think he'll be more comfortable. Now, the other thing with Zinchenko, and there's one thing I was very unhappy with him about last week, was when he put the ball out when the Villa player was feigning injury. Even if it was a real injury, which I don't believe it wasn't a head injury. The referee didn't stop the game, and Arsenal had the ball. And he put the ball out, and I thought that was absolutely terrible. The kind of attitude you really don't need when you want to go and win things.
But you put him in your team.
I did, because I think that it's easier to cut out mistakes and mentality than it is to bring in that attacking flair that he's obviously got. And I think if he cuts out a little bit of the mentality, which he can do, and those stupid mistakes of lack of concentration, then we've got a player that can't be replicated at left back.
So do you expect Arsenal to have a lot of the ball in this game against Bayern? Because that's tends to be when Zinchenko plays, when we have a lot of the ball, a lot of the possession.
I don't expect Bayern to have the kind of possession that they're used to here against us. I think just like at Arsenal, it'll be pretty even on possession.
Okay, let's go into midfield. No one picked Thomas Partey, no one at all. I mean, everyone went with Jorginho.
I was tempted.
Yeah, I was
very tempted.
So why did you not go with Thomas Partey?
The reason I haven't gone with him, and it's a bit of a difficult situation, is that I think he's fit, but he's not match fit. And
he must be raring to go though. He's been waiting. He seems like, I'm sure many people and fans as well will be watching, will be probably wanting Thomas Partey to play in this game.
Listen, I think maybe he didn't come on Sunday, so maybe he's been kept fresh for this game.
Yeah.
But I just think that I've gone for what I think it's got us where we have over the last few games. The midfield of Jorginho, Rice and Odegaard, and that's what it's just purely on that we've gone on this run, and that's been the mainstays for me.
Robbie? Yeah, I think I was very tempted, and I don't know. I think we could see Partey start this game. I think I get the feeling like what you said, that the fact that he didn't play on the weekend, he's fresh. He may come in for this game. But then, Jorginho didn't start either. He came on late as well. Maybe that was a mistake not starting either of them two on the weekend. But I just think that Jorginho, he's played that role brilliantly. He's been exceptional this season, and he's also got that Champions League experience. Remember, he's won the Champions League. He's used to coming to these really tough places like this and knowing what to do and knowing what to tell the other players and keeping that discipline. And I think he's an essential player for me in this. So that's why I went for him over Thomas Partey. But if Partey starts, I wouldn't be surprised. But for me, Jorginho has to start this game.
Let's go to Saka, Julian. He seemed injured. He seems like he's been injured for a long time. He's mentioned it. But everyone's got him in their 11. Everyone says, regardless of if he's fit or not, he plays. Is that for you as well? Is why he kept Saka in there?
Because of his numbers and what he contributes. He can look injured. He can look lethargic. He can look like he did. What game was it, Lee? Where we noticed it? I think Brighton. We didn't think he touched the ball for the first 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then what does he do? He pops up with either an assist or a goal or both.
Yeah.
And he seems to do that pretty much every game. And
he scored last week as well against Bayern. Let's not forget that.
You can't argue with what he actually produces. And pretty much every game he produces, so you've got to keep him in. And also, it's one of the few positions in the team where I don't think we've got the best quality of backup.
Yeah, I think that's the point.
And also with the Saka situation, their first choice left back's not playing, so this is a time for Saka to shine. This is the one. Listen, this is the.
Do you need him? For me, he needs to step up. And we say that. I think we say that every week.
He's contributing in every big game.
He scored last week.
I know, but
I don't know. Sometimes people, their memories. Yeah. Saka scored the first goal last week that got us underway, and he was looking sharp. And if you're a Bayern player, and the team comes out tomorrow and Saka's not playing, you're rubbing your hands. Just like we'll be like saying, if Gnabry and not playing, we're going to be going, 100%. That's good news for us. That'd be great news if Saka ain't playing. Of course he's got to start. Unless he's injured, he is an automatic starter for me. He's one of our most dangerous players.
An automatic start. No one put Jesus in. Is it? I think there's been a lot of criticism of Jesus as well, but you lot have all gone with Havertz. Is it the Champions League experience, even though Jesus has that, or is it just Jesus? You don't think he can last?
For me,
back-to-back
the
games?
Balance of the team just looks better when we've been playing Havertz down that middle. The balance has been better, the defensive shape has been better, but also Jesus had a very poor game. If he was auditioning for this game, he was poor. He came on in the game last week and he changed it. It's his bit of brilliance with linking up with Trossard that's got us back in the game. But when I watched him on Sunday, he looked leggy. I was really surprised at how. He looked
Which
low.
Is Robbie? I think
he looked low on energy. Man.
Stuff was it just?
I'm wondering if still he's carrying a bit with that knee when he's going the whole 90 minutes.
The same.
And I really don't expect him to start in this game. And he didn't. he didn't do enough to deserve to start this game.
He has
in my
good
opinion,
numbers in the Champions League.
He does have very good numbers, and he's a player that can come on and have a major impact from the bench. I feel in this game, but I'd start Havertz down the middle.
Yeah, I agree. Listen, pre-injury, before the knee injury last year, there wouldn't even be a question
debate,
about it.
yeah.
There wouldn't even be a debate. He's not quite the same as what he was since he's come back. And for me, it just comes on with what Havertz has done over the last sort of couple of months. I just think that we're a better team with him up front. We're a little bit more balanced, and he just gives us something a little bit more different. And also with Robbie, I think that it could be 20-25 minutes from the end, a tired Havertz comes on for an energetic Jesus. I think that may work as well.
Okay. I'm going to finish by asking you about you going with Martinelli. We're all fans of Gabriel Martinelli, but Trossard, some people say he would have earned a right to start. Obviously, his last one wasn't great. I think people like to see him as an impact player, but you sticking with Martinelli, you don't think Trossard, should be starting over him at all in this game?
It's nothing detrimental to Trossard. It's purely my absolute admiration and love for Martinelli. He for me is the.
But he hasn't been good of late, Martinelli. If we're being honest.
But he has that potential and that burst of speed, and that's what scares teams. And we can get that ball if they press up. We can exploit those spaces. And Trossard has been brilliant, but he's been more effective coming off the bench. I think from all the players, he's got Premier League's highest scoring. He's got six goals off the bench.
Correct.
I'm pulling Martinelli to the side if I'm Mikel Arteta. I'm pulling him to the side in training and whatever, and I'm saying, look, for tomorrow, it's on you. I'm relying on you. You're the main man. Go out there and do it. And I think it's a big game for Martinelli if he plays tomorrow. I really do.
Massive game for Martinelli. We all love him, but
he's got to deliver.
It's all about love, but when you come to these places,
he's got to deliver.
You've got to deliver. He was really poor last week, really poor. But I think, like what Julian says, off the bench, Trossard's a weapon, Jesus is a weapon.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And I think Martinelli, if he gets back on his game, let's remember he has been injured and he's coming back. Now, I think he's had enough time now to come back flying in this game. He's got to really embrace this moment, really go out there and show the manager and show the fans that he's back to his best. And if he can get back to his best, he's the sort of player that can trouble them, because I do think they're not going to be as deep as they were last week. I do think they're going to push on to us, which could give us that little bit of space in behind, which Martinelli and Saka on the other wing can exploit. So I think with his pace, his direct running, and his aggression, I think he could be a very, very important player in this game, but he has to deliver, and he hasn't recently. So big game for Martinelli.
Big game. Well, that's it. You've seen everyone's 11s. Let me know who you agree with in the comments below. But also, go and do your Predicted 11 on the AFTV Plus app. Tag us, send it to us, and make sure you head over to the social media pages and see whose 11 you agree with on there as well. Thank you for watching this video. Let's hope Arsenal go and get the win. Take care.